is Mauricio Ramirez. I'm a student at Bishop Ward, and I'm also a member of Summer Mentoring Program of the Central Avenue Betterment Association. Today, we have with us Mr. Mackey, who is running for commissioner at second large district. Nice meeting you. Moving on to the very first topic, which is past living, or basically anything that is we've searched and seen that is past living, for example, work or your working experience.
Okay.
So the very first question is, how is your past working experience going to prepare you for commissioner?
I've been blessed I've done roofing, plumbing, every bit of, pretty much all the trades. My family's been in construction for about 30, 40 years. I got into it. I've been walking beams since I was about 7 years old with my uncle. And my family history, I'm a fourth generation Dot, and we have over 90 years in, everything from iron workers to plumbers to electricians. Every bit of it. We're all over the trades. So I've been blessed to have a thorough education in construction and everything to do with the entire field.
Sounds good. I can relate to that as well, because my dad has been having me in framing as well.
Good trade to learn.
Yeah, it is. Moving on to the second topic, which is mental health. When it comes to business work, how emotionally do you handle it? For say, are you nervous and anxious, or are you calm and collected?
I would say maybe in the middle. I'm, chaotic, normal is kind of where I sit. I'm 35, but I'm a pretty boisterous, outgoing guy. It's just been through my family. We're passionate individuals, and I bounce all over the place. I've learned to chill out a little bit since I've been on city council in Bonner Springs for 4 years now, or at the end of this year. So I've learned to temper that and to use it. I guess the difference of when you're in council chambers versus when you're on the job site, I can fit where I need to be.
Sounds good. Moving on to the third topic, which is family, which is whom in your family got you into politics and why so?
Man, I would honestly have to say it'd probably be myself. Most of my family hates it that I'm in politics. They can't stand the social media aspect. My mom, for the first couple runs, I've been running perpetually for about 6 years. Every year I've been on the ballot for something. And most of my family tries to talk me out of it every single year. But as I mentioned, I've been in the trades almost my entire life. And I wanted to see somebody in office who represented me, myself, and the gentlemen and women that I work with. And I don't see that happening. So I wanted to step up and see if I could make a change.
Sounds good. All right. Moving on to your education, which is which college/university did you attend and why?
After I got out of high school, I started at Johnson County Community College with accounting and construction management. I was actually in the very first semester of the first class of the construction management degree program, and I went through as many of the classes as I could, and they didn't even have the classes created, so I honestly never finished the degree. But I went directly into working and remodeling right after that.
All right. If you had the chance to go back, if they had the classes, would you take the opportunity to go back and finish it to get your degree in that?
If I had an opportunity straight from high school and I was aware of how to get involved with the unions or a specific trade, I would have done that well over college. The majority of my friends that went directly into a trade, saying like you talked about framing, or that started with iron workers or just any of the different trades, are making astronomically way more than any of my friends that went to college. I'd say at least half of my friends that went to college are either living back home or they're complaining about debt. Every single one of my friends that went into a trade are doing well with it and loving it.
All right. Moving on to your work experience. Out of all your previous working experiences, which one do you believe your strongest suit is in?
I could talk to a tree with both my mom and my dad. They're both jabber boxes, and they've both been remarried. But I would say I kind of found my calling with politics. I really like it. I like arguing with big egos and people I think that I could flick or try to upset or change their view. I like to support the little guy or find individuals that I think that I could help amplify their voice. And I absolutely love construction and the trades and working with my hands. But I believe that being a voice for the people that I represent is my calling and my place at the moment.
And we thank you for that, for helping us and helping us get our everything that we have on our minds, and you being able to amplify that. We thank you for that.
Absolutely.
All right. The final topic is team building. Are you able to work with people and communicate with them, and why so?
I've had to work on that one. As I mentioned, my uncle that I got started in construction with was an iron worker, and I knew a lot of the cuss words and craziness when I was probably 7, more so than I should have. I've had to learn to temper myself because both sides of my family, my mom, my dad, and my step family, everybody are very, very passionate individuals. But getting involved with politics, I've had to learn to take it from a job site mentality and controlling stuff or cussing or throwing things or whatever, being the strong man. I've got to start using, as some of my family's members talk about, using my intellect over my muscles. And it's been on city council for the past, at the end of this year, it'll be 4 years. It's taught me to be less aggressive and chill out. I don't always have to be right, and I can get my point across a lot better, and more people will listen to you if you can try to remain calm in the moment and convey your voice or get your message out without screaming, cussing, and trying to be the loudest person in the room.
So I guess we still have time for some extra questions.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ask some of the miscellaneous questions.
Absolutely, please.
Do you believe that your previous working experience is enough to fill the role of a commissioner?
Absolutely. I have, last year I ran for House of Representatives against my opponent that I'm going against now. We were able to get 42% of the vote. I had a budget of $3,300 versus his $67,000, and we were still able to pull off 42% for my own campaign. And there was another individual that ran as an independent in Bonner Springs, and he got 11%. So as a city, we beat him, and that gave me a vast array of experience. I've been blessed with, I was the GOP Wyandotte County Secretary, and I got to work with gentlemen like Senator Braun, U.S. Senator Marshall. I mean, amazing individuals that it's wild. A young buck from Wyandotte County and Bonner Springs, and I've been able to work with U.S. senators and governors and people all over the state. I mean, millionaires, billionaires. I've had an amazing ride, and I've been blessed to be doing what I'm doing and to, as we were talking about, continuing our voice to bring Wyandotte County and put us on the map.
How emotionally stable are you? For example, do you let your emotions get the best of you?
I have had to work on that one consistently. I've come a very long way over the past couple of years. I've had a lot of mentors, and I've been very, very blessed with individuals that have reached out and helped to coach me and guide me on how to temper those emotions and my passion and direct it and hone it rather than using it as a weapon.
When it comes to learning experience, do you believe that you are still able to learn and you are still able to get more experience, or do you believe that you are at a certain point where you can't learn anymore, that you're okay?
I believe that if you're in a place to where you stop learning, you'll die. I mean, you'll die intellectually, you'll die physically. You should always, especially if you're in a position of leadership, a true servant leader. I mean, like, I'm quite religious. Jesus Christ was a servant leader. He was always willing to listen to the least of these rather than the apostles and Pharisees and all the leaders or the higher ups. We need to have more people in office that are willing to be servant leaders and that are willing to take less of the spotlight on themselves and show it to their community and give more people a voice rather than making it all about them.
I completely agree with you on that as well.
A lot of us do. A lot of us, we fight for that, but it doesn't happen as often.
Oh, yeah. I do agree. All right. which side of your family had a big influence in your career life or where you are standing right now?
I would say it's kind of split all over the board. My stepfather in my younger days was a big influence on me. He was one person who I'm gonna tear up for that one. I've as I mentioned, I've been blessed with a lot of mentors that have reached out to me just because of how passionate I get or boisterous or wild, and I've learned to be receptive and try to listen to anybody willing to reach out to me or give me advice on something. So I would say on my mother's side, the Tiner side, they've been in construction. The Mackey side, my father's oldest brother was in construction, a flat worker and all of that. Even my stepfather's father was in asphalt and paving and things like that. So, I mean, it was almost like ordained that I was to go into construction. It's just in our blood.
I agree with that as well because, like I said, I have a father who does framing, and he's been taking me with him since a very young age, so I can relate to that.
Mentorship is something I definitely support. I think it's an excellent opportunity.
All right. Let's see. Why did you pursue accounting and construction management?
I'm very, very analytical. I love numbers, the whole facts over emotions thing. Emotions are fun, and they can be good at family events or at a party or something, but analytics and numbers, they don't lie. I mean, you can pull out the numbers and the data is there in front of you. You can look at it and you can interpret data in different ways, but the numbers are numbers. They're still there. They don't lie. They'll convey the message as long as you respect them.
That is true. All right. Will you continue to work real estate and at RNT2KC? Even if you were to become commissioner?
Absolutely. That's one of my biggest pulls for getting into the commissioner role is to be able to open up the opportunities for everybody in our community. As I've mentioned, I work with people all over the spectrum. I've worked with guys that are illegal. I've worked with people that are coming out of jail. I mean, people all over the spectrum. The beauty of construction and of the trades field is that if you know your job, people don't really care what your background is. Because if you do your job well and you stick with it and you're honest, then you can work with anybody. And you can continue to mentor and basically pull other people up and help guide them and direct them. And for me, construction is almost it's kind of like my fellowship. It's my way to, I can't really say my church, but it's a convenient way to mentor others and talk about Christ and be able to show the love of Christ through construction.
Relating to what you said earlier about being a servant leader and how you have to serve others as well while being a leader, will anything change in the aspect of contacting you or being able to reach out to you or speak to you, even if you were to become commissioner?
Absolutely not. I believe I'm rather approachable. I put my cell phone number on everything. I actually have 2 different cell phone numbers. One is for family and say girlfriend or my son. And then I have another phone that is literally dedicated solely for business and elected duties so that anybody, if you want to send me a text night, day, whether it's 2, 3 in the morning, you're thinking of something, want to send it to me. If my phone's on, then it's on. You can reach me, I mean, however you can. I've got probably 6, 7 different email addresses. And I am only one person, at least at the moment. I might be able to get a team one of these days, but I try to be as receptive and open as I possibly can be. I don't have anything to hide. Last year was a good blessing. 2020, I was sued or subpoenaed over 20 different times. I mean, I'm out there and my life is, I make it as public as possible. I don't have anything to hide. This is what I love doing. And I continue to, I want to learn and grow with the community. So it shouldn't change at all.
That's good. We appreciate that you are not going to change that aspect if you were to become commissioner, and that you give us a place where we can contact you and reach to
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Would you like to leave a message or say anything to the viewers and the audiences?
I guess one of the biggest things I could say is that you can evolve or die. Right now, Wyandotte County is in a beautiful state where if we're willing to evolve and allow younger people in, we were talking earlier before the cameras came on, and you're 16. I think that's beautiful. That's awesome. We're bringing in younger folk. I love it that CABA is bringing in individuals that are in the youth community. That's something that Wyandotte County has to do. I mean, I've been beating on the doors for 6 years to do that. And there's so many old timers, 60, 70, 80 years old, that have fought it so hard for so many years that, we just got to open up the door to more people. And I think that Wyandotte County is a perfect, beautiful melting pot. I mean, out of all the places in the state of Kansas, Wyandotte County has one of the most diverse communities in the entire state. I think that with younger people, I would greatly appreciate if people would vote for me. J. Michael Tiner-Mackey on the ballot. If you're looking at me on Facebook or LinkedIn, it'd just be Jordan Mackey. As I said, I'm very approachable, always willing to listen, and let's grow together. Thanks. Appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you, Mr. Mackey, for sharing your information with us and answering questions. And thank you for your time. And thank you for your advice and anything and message that you left for us and everything that you're doing for this community. Of course. We wish you the best of lucks and better future for Wyandotte County.
Appreciate it, brother.